Hello everybody and welcome to today's poi tutorial, which is about the most famous poi move in the world, the Rastaxel Pendulum. Hashtag Rastaxel Pendulum. This move originates in a famous old toy video made back in 1836 by the famous, amazing, legendary Rastaxel. We can watch the video now. So that was the video, and I had an idea. Maybe I can try to use my magic remote controller and I can try to make the real Rastaxel travel in time and appear here in our TV Poi studio. So please welcome the amazing, legendary Axel Belhage alias Rastaxel here in our studio. Hey, who are you? You are not Rastaxel.
No.
Do you even do poi?
Poi?
Poi? Tu fais poi? Bola?
No.
Tu n'aimes pas bola?
I hate me.
Tu n'aimes pas?
No.
Okay, that was a wrong program. Let's try the next program. Welcome again, the famous Rastaxel. Oh, hey man.
Oh, Vojta.
Hello. Yeah. Well, you don't have poi?
No, I don't. I just
Right.
here.
Better. Okay.
Yeah.
So can you do your famous Rastaxel Pendulum?
Of course.
Oh, beautiful. Right, nice. So, would you like to explain us how it works?
How it works? First, balancing.
So, am I right that you're making an extended circle inside?
Yeah. For the beginner, I just focus on one hand and stop. One hand and stop. One hand, stop. And little by little, try to do every moment.
So each hand is going inside.
Yeah.
So maybe note the difference between moving and doing a movement with your arms to the inside or to the outside. If I'm standing in this neutral position, right? I can decide either if I want to go circle inside with each hand or outside. So in this case, both hands are going inside. So I'm taking my right going inside like this, or my left going inside like that.
Yeah.
So then the movement comes from there, right? And it's all happening in water in split time, same direction. So if I'm right, maybe not, but technically you could go into weaves or some sort of spinning on each side, right? So if you do this, then from here you could go into weave on this side, or stall right left to the other side.
Yeah.
Nice.
Of course.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
Je suis désolé pour interrompre.
You can do 1, 2 and go. 1, 2 and go. It's like the same. So 1, 2 with it.
That's amazing. So when you get this, so is there a difference maybe when either I can do it with my hands separate, so that means extending always the top hand, or the same move can be done with hands short, kind of standing together, right?
Yeah.
Nice. Is there something that you should really focus on when you're doing this move? Perhaps like keeping the split timing. Yeah. So technically, you know what this is. Each hand, what it's doing is a pendulum, circle.
Of course.
Pendulum,
That's right.
circle. We don't need to break it down so technically. I believe it's easier to actually do it than to understand it, and perhaps just standing, watching the video and repeating after us, going right, left, left. Perhaps that's the easiest way to learn. But observe the difference, or observe how as I do the extension, at the same time when the poi swings down into the extension, the other hand is making the stall on the opposite side. So there's this specific moment when the hand is coming up and the other one is stalling. Shoo. Shoo. Maybe add some sound effect to help you get into that. Oh, like in your famous a cappella choreography.
Yes.
So maybe now is it time to remind ourselves about the difference between static pendulum and pendulum in a circle. For those who saw my tutorial about pendulums, I have been talking there about, difference between such pendulum, which is static, and we can't specify what direction it is going because it's going back and forth. But when I start moving my hand either in a counterclockwise circle or a clockwise circle, suddenly the poi is actually doing a circle and not just swinging back and forth, right? And so this is something what makes the original Rastaxel Pendulum become the adjusted super special Rastaxel Pendulum. 21st century edition.
Up, 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 up.
Oh, that sounds crazy.
That's a bit crazy. It's not for beginner.
So to get from this into something more circular, from extension you want to go up with the pendulum and then just make a circle on the top with each hand. So left is doing a circle, right is doing a circle. And if you're lost, just go back one step. So back to this and try to go up with the hand as you're doing the pendulum. Just before the extension with each hand. And instead of the extension, just bring the poi back down, back down. As the poi is going back down, the other hand is already coming up. So left goes down, right goes up, right goes down, left goes up. Very nice. Now, I guess that when you keep doing it the same way, but now you kind of isolate here. So you don't go down with such extension, but kind of a little smaller circle. And eventually, instead of doing this, I will just do this. It's kind of an isolation. So this can slowly turn into this. And the idea is, as you're continuing with this pattern, there's a moment when the poi are parallel, like this, in horizontal parallelity. And in that moment, you flip, right? So you continue doing the same move, but in the moment when both poi appear to be kind of in this timing, in this position, you bring the other hand on top. So
maybe you can use your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I use my hand here, my left hand here, my right hand here.
Yeah.
I just push, just to have my hand with the head of the poi.
Right.
Okay.
Very nice.
Thank
So
you.
where else can you go with this once you got that? Well, you can decide if you want to do it small. It can be as small as this, or you can really emphasize that movement. You can make combinations between the two. So between this and that. And you can also try to take the hand, which is always doing the circle on top, and bring it around the head, which then creates kind of a body tracing version of this move, which unfortunately people with dreadlocks cannot do.
Yeah, of course.
Well, there's a price for being cool and looking awesome,
Yeah.
So, instead of doing this, I'm bringing my hand over. There is no extra circle. There is an isolation in fact. And you see how the hand is coming up? So I'm putting the head in the pattern So it's kind of going up to my throat like this, and that moment I turn it over. So if you really want to make it really body tracy, you actually want to, as the pendulum goes up, it goes down to your chin. So you kind of hit your chin with the point while you're in kind of a negative space, you know? Yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa. And then if you want to make it ultra special body tracing, which people with dreadlocks for sure cannot do, then you can even take the other hand and bring it in the back. So then you're kind of all the time. Can I use this for it? Just because it's longer and also not the same color as my pants. So then you can do this kind of move. Is that right? Was it the one we wanted to show or not? I think so.
Dreadlocks.
Yeah, you can take the hand and bring it instead of down in front of you, you can bring it in the back. So up, 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 up. Nice. So if you want to continue with this into some more crazier and more advanced versions, but not too crazy and not too advanced, because you know what you showed me was way too much even for me. So let's take it a bit realistically, but you can take this pattern and do it and reverse it into forwards, you know?
Yeah.
So just like you have this thing, this is coming in outwards. If we really break it down technically, you know? It's going inside, right? The hand's going inside. So now what happens if I go from the outside, so outside to the inside? So it's kind of inwards, right? So it's the same pattern, like if I played it back, the same thing. And so from here, a lot of interesting patterns arise. So maybe you may have seen this, which I also learned from you, from your famous video. You just take the same pattern, you know, the same thing, and you do it all up here. So the pendulum happens down here, and when the other hand comes on top, it pushes the hand down. Okay. Right. That's it.
That's it.
And you can decide whether you want this kind of, you keep your hands away from each other, so there's kind of an isolation, or, you know, there's no contact between my hands, and the poi strings are kind of parallel for a second, or if you want to put one hand to the other, and always like one replaces the other, so more mechanical approach. So again, we see, you know, that through different approaches, through different little details, we can really make a different effect. So this can be
This is very important.
yeah.
Little detail can have a big. It can be very, different.
Nice, that is true. Do you want to show us some more variations and say something more from your pendulum discoveries, you know?
Okay. Some like this. Can turn here. This one.
So this you're combining what we just did with the 8, right? So,
yes,
so the
with
idea
this.
of like how
I'm doing
pendulum
this and
change
this.
direction.
I can do this. Okay. I can do this. Okay. There is a lot to. This is kind of the same move. With
You
anti-spin.
can anti-spin that, right?
Yeah. Can anti-spin. You can. This thing is it always the same movement?
Yeah. So you know, like I always say, you can try every move in different elements and different modes. So this is the same case. So what Axel is doing at the moment,
Look,
is
it's
the same thing, but not in split timing, but in same timing. So instead of transitioning between water and fire, he's transitioning between water and air.
Water and hair.
Air, yeah, this might probably mine. So this can easily become this if I adjust the timing a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I can keep the hands together and do something like that.
And
And again, either in this direction or I can change direction
and
I can do it in this one. And there is no difference whatsoever. Right, so thank you very much.
thank you.
This is Axel Wojta from Mandalite's headquarters
Yeah.
in France. Extremely tired after exhausting show last night.
Yeah.
And also it's about 150 degrees at the moment.
Yeah, you can see I'm very wet.
Yes. So thank you and
Thank
see
you,
you next
guys.
time.
See you next time.